Hello there, you're listening to Ebird Online, and I'm back with another review. I hope everybody's well. Today we're going to be talking about Rebecca and Zied. As we know, Zied's in somewhat of a hurry to get married, and so today I'm going to break down if we think this is actually gameplay, or if he genuinely has religion on his mind. Just before we begin, please don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. Press the red button, make Ebird a very happy Ebird. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed thus far. I really do appreciate it, and also don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoy the video. Right, so without further ado, I give you Rebecca and Zied. So as we remember, last time we saw Rebecca and Zied, they'd gone away for a long weekend to the cabins, and they'd had a look at the different wedding packages. Thrice wed grandma of 5, Rebecca, had decided to make her 4th wedding the biggest and best ever, and she wants to go all out, complete with a white wedding dress. But Zied had managed to burst her bubble when he told her there was no way they could get married during Ramadan, and they were going to have to either get married before or after. Rebecca told us she was blindsided. Oh really? It would seem she's added a sided to her normal state, and she said, "It's the first I've ever heard of this." What? Ramadan? You've been married to a Muslim before, and so it should be somewhat surprising, Rebecca, but in fact, it's rather too unsurprising. And so when we meet up with a couple this week, ticking time bomb turned into moody teenager Zied had decided to meet Rebecca at the back of the bike sheds. Zied explains to us that they left the cabins early because Rebecca had to go to work, and he further tells us that neither one of them are happy. Get used to it, Zied. I think it's going to be a sign of things to come. And Rebecca tells us, Zied has just told me about this Ramadan thing, but I don't want to shortcut this wedding process. And she walks outside with Zied's lunch, and I see that he has the bargain bucket for a family of 4 and is leaning against the wall like a sulking teenager. And Zied said, "Ramadan, very important. It's very important to me." And Rebecca said, "I don't want to get married in the court. I've waited for 2 years to get married to you, and now you say if I don't marry you in 2 weeks, you're gonna go and just stay somewhere else." Yeah? It's not fair. Ramadan is something very important. And then Rebecca tells us that she feels Zied is picking and choosing with his religion. And guys, I've got to say, I've seen a lot of people on social media saying exactly the same thing. Why is this one thing such a big deal when it's not even in the Muslim religion to live with each other before you get married? But I grew up in an area with a lot of Muslims, and there are an awful lot of Muslims in the UK. And from college onwards, from university onwards, I realised that people that I'd be drinking and dancing in a club with 1 week, the following week would be fasting from sun up till sundown for a 4-week period. And I find it extremely strange that people say, oh, he's trying to pick and choose which bits of his religion he adheres to. Who doesn't? Does anybody follow the rule book? Very few, I'd argue. So there's 2 points to this. The first point is Muslims everywhere are all different. So you have Sunnis, you have Shiites, you have Kurds, and probably loads more that I don't even know about. There are so many different types, and all of them have slightly different interpretations of what it means to be a Muslim. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, yes, sometimes people are more devout than others. Some people follow their religion to the letter of the law, some people less so, exactly the same as Christians and Jews and Hindus and everybody else. Most of my family are Christians, and I can count on one finger the amount of people that absolutely follow Christianity as per the Bible. Christians are not supposed to have sex before marriage, most people do, and I could go on and on and on. How many people are in church at Easter? How many people are in church at Christmas? How many people are in church the rest of the year? Certainly not as many. The Church of England was created in its entirety so King Henry VIII could circumvent the wishes of the Vatican and the wishes of the Pope, so that he could marry, divorce and murder at will. Whole religions have been created in order to circumvent the picking and choosing aspect of religion. So to me, for Rebecca to make this point, it's completely ridiculous. And so Zied reasserted the fact that either he goes to live somewhere else for a month or they get married before Ramadan starts. Rebecca said, "I don't like this, I don't understand it, and I don't want to do it." And now for an Ebird translation. I don't like this, I don't understand this, but in the end I'll begrudgingly do it because my name's Rebecca and that's what I do. And then Zied tells production, "I left my family, my friends and my country for Rebecca, but she doesn't know if she wants to marry me." And he finished off by saying, "I'm not happy, I don't know what I do, really." And so next time we see this couple, Rebecca is still moaning on about Ramadan, and she said the fact that he's putting me in a corner absolutely ticks me off. And they're sitting at Rebecca's apartment. Oh, what's this? They've got furniture. Oh, Rebecca, they've kind of got a few boxes still here and there, but I suppose it does look better. But Rebecca's there with a late mid-century reproduction dresser in the middle of an industrial-style uber-modern exposed brick warehouse. Oh, Rebecca, I'm sure you can do better than this. And Rebecca sits down at a table with Zied, and she tells him, we don't have the money for you to move out. And he says, what about Tiffany? And she said, nope, Tiffany and Micah are moving, so you can't stay with them. No, Tiffany and Micah can't stand you, and that's why you can't stay with them. And then Zied said, so, what's your solution? And Rebecca said, you always ask me this. Why must it be me that comes up with a solution? My solution is we stay together and then we get married at the end of the 90 days, i.e. what I wanted to do to begin with. And then Zied tries to explain Ramadan to Rebecca. And she says, oh right, so you're a strict Muslim for 1 month a year. And then she tells us, I don't want to rush to get married. The whole idea of the 90-day visa is so that you can check things out. This is what the visa is for. Wrong, Rebecca, wrong. You're supposed to know that you want to get married before you get engaged. The 90 days is for you to meet family and organise the wedding. That's what the 90 days is supposedly for. Now I know you lot on 90 Day Fiancé have a 1 week holiday to the Costa del Sol, meet the Spanish bloke behind the bar and ask him to marry you, and then you spend your 90 days committing his name to memory. I know that's the way round that you guys do it, but it's not how it's supposed to be. But no, that's it. Rebecca's made up her mind. Rebecca's immovable. She will not relent. Rebecca's unchangeable. But then Zied offers a rinky-dink Tunisian wedding after the coronavirus, and they decide to get married next week. And Rebecca tells us, he's been a big part of every day of my life for the past 2 years. I can't bear to lose him at this point for any reason. A big part of your... Right. A big part of every day. Oh, Rebecca, we don't want to know about your online sex life. Ew. And then Rebecca said to Zied, just so that you know, you are happy and I am not. Just so that we're clear. Rebecca, he's looking at your miserable face, so the chances are neither is he. Anyway, the final time we see this couple this week, they have just 4 days left until the big day. But Rebecca looks even more worried than usual. What's happened? Oh my lord, she's lost her engagement ring. And she said she's been going mad, organising a wedding in just 8 days. And I can't help but notice that Rebecca's got pigtails in her hair. Okay, I was trying to ignore it, you guys, but I'm going to have to make a public service announcement. If somebody around the age of 50 or above is wearing pigtails, that means you, Rebecca, and yes, you, Stephanie. America, lock up your sons, because there's a prowler on the loose. And as Rebecca's dashing around looking for this ring, she looks all over the car. She lets us know that they're having the wedding at the cabin after all. She walks into the apartment, and it's getting worse and worse every time I see it. Now I see a faux oak table and dining chairs, and they're giving me strong early 80s vibes. And we see yet another clash with the property in which you live. And so Rebecca's rushing around this apartment looking for the ring, and she's throwing cushions around and looking down the back of the sofa, and she's saying, Zied, I can't find my ring. And Zied's busy playing Super Mario. And Zied looks entirely unbothered. And she said, Zied, do you know where my ring is? And Zied said, no. And she said, you don't even care. You don't even look worried. Oh, Rebecca, of course it doesn't look worried. It cost him next to nothing. Or should I say, it cost you next to nothing, Rebecca. I don't know if any of you guys watch Auntie's Advice. I do from time to time. She's very funny. If you don't, you guys should check her out. But Auntie called the ring a fugazi ring. I didn't even know what fugazi meant, but I just knew it means budget, it means fraudulent, it means fake. Fugazi. I love it. But guys, it's quite weird because Zied's lack of interest is really rubbing Rebecca up the wrong way. And Rebecca's roughing up my bloody retinas by dashing around the apartment with a scowl on her face and a bad attitude like a giant St. Trinian. And she said, Zied, what am I gonna do? And Zied said, I don't know where it is. Why I worry? I just buy a new one. You just borrow me money. Oh Lord. Oh Rebecca, that ring cost no more than $100 and it's worth no more than about $30. But Rebecca's off to go and see her daughter Tiffany, and she lets us know that Tiffany called her in the middle of the night and that she'd hurt her foot. And when she walks into the apartment, Tiffany's sitting there with a pair of crutches for a prop. Yes, that's right, I said a prop. It's clear to see that nothing's wrong with Tiffany's foot. She just wanted to summon Rebecca over, son Zied. And Tiffany tells Rebecca, I have a gut. We've seen it! And I have an instinct that something is off. Can you put the wedding off? And Rebecca said, no. And Tiffany said, do you think he wants to rush the wedding so that it's permanent and so that he can stay here? You're a grown woman, you don't need to be rushed into anything. And Rebecca just sat there with an I don't know look on her face. And then she said to Tiffany, I've got a feeling that everything's just going badly. I've lost my ring, and Zied gave that to me in the middle of the Sahara Desert. It cannot be replaced. I'm sorry to laugh so much about this ring, but it does make me laugh. It can be replaced, Rebecca. It can be replaced very, very easily from any Walmart. Or as Mr. Ebird says, Christmas is just a few short months away. Where are those Christmas crackers? I cannot believe how much of a hoo-ha she's making over this piece of rubbish ring. And Tiffany said, I have a gut feeling that things are going to go wrong, and whenever I have this gut feeling, I'm always right and you're always wrong. I always point out the red flags, and the red flags turn out to be true, and you never ever see them, Mum. And Rebecca said, I know. If you'd have asked me before this week, I was 1,000% sure that everything was going to be fine with Zied. And now I'm on this train that's going 90 miles an hour. Getting married should be easy. I don't know if to get off the train or if to just ride it out. And Rebecca, all I've got to say is high-speed train journey today, train wreck tomorrow. I know I said just last week that I thought everything was going to be okay or had the potential to be okay with this couple. But when I stand back and survey the evidence and look at everything, I realise no, it isn't. It's not going to be okay. You're going to end up broken-hearted once again. I think this marriage may last a while, and I do think that Zied does love you. But do I think it's going to last forever? No, I don't, unfortunately. And that's a shame. But it's honestly how I feel. And that's where we leave the couple for this week. And so guys, I realise now that Zied's not that into it. Zied wants to have this rushed wedding. And he also said to Rebecca, we can just get married in jeans. In jeans? I know that some people do it, but who really wants to get married in jeans? Wouldn't you like a nice dress for Rebecca and maybe a smart suit for you? I don't know, I just think jeans cheapens the whole thing, and it kind of says I'm not really interested in what I'm doing. I'm really not taking this seriously. And that leads me to the not unreasonable conclusion that Zied does not see this for the long term. And obviously we spoke last week as well about Zied and having kids. This just adds more fuel to the fire. This is not going to be a permanent arrangement. So guys, what I want to know from you this week is, do we think this marriage can go the distance? Will they just do a couple of years and then Zied will have his papers? But another thing that struck me this week when Tiffany faked her foot injury was the fact that she has to go to these lengths so she can get her mum on her own and try and have a last-ditch attempt to talk to her and to put this wedding off. Because Tiffany knows one thing, I don't think she really cares about the money. I don't think she really cares if Zied manages to sneak into the country. I think her thing is, Rebecca then is depressed for a year or 2 years afterwards and she has to pick up the pieces. And it must be awful to have a parent that you have to care for when you know very well they're making mistakes and they just will not stop making them. Tiffany's had a fair bit written about her from earlier in the season, but I do think she's got her mum's best interests at heart, and I do also think that she's not saying to her mum, well, if it goes wrong, I don't want to hear about it. She is still ultimately extremely supportive. And we all know that at some point Rebecca's going to need her. And I think sooner rather than later. So let me know what you think in comments down below, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, make Ebird a very happy Ebird, and please share this video if you think anybody else would enjoy it. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you very soon. You've been listening to Ebird Online, and I bid you good day.